Artificial intelligence, NLP, machine learning, computer vision. These terms are becoming so familiar as these technologies wave into our daily routines. So imagine you're starting your day by asking your smart speaker about a weather forecast and your schedule, and it responds in a conversational manner, reminding you of your dentist appointment and suggesting you take an umbrella due to expected rain. So that's NLP. Then, as you drive to work, your car's navigation system learns your driving habits and adjusts your way to avoid the traffic and get you to office faster. That's machine learning. During lunch, you use AI-powered app to order food, which recommends dishes based on your past preferences and dietary restrictions. And finally, at a conference later in the day, you use your phone to scan a QR code on a presentation slide, which instantly translates and summarizes the information for you. So that's computer vision for work. So these technologies are rapidly gaining popularity, and we have seamlessly incorporated many of them into our daily lives without even realizing it. So on today's episode, we are going to dive deep into Salesforce Einstein One capabilities and its transformative impact on healthcare industry. So from predictive analytics to personalized patient care, Einstein One is aimed to reshape the HLS industry completely. So joining us today is a special guest who is at the forefront of innovations. Lindsay, a senior solutions engineer at Salesforce, specializing in healthcare and life sciences. So with her extensive expertise and insights, we'll explore how these cutting-edge features are driving efficiencies, enhancing patient experiences, and shaping the future of healthcare. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be inspired by the incredible advancements happening in the world of healthcare technology today. Let's dive in. Hi, Lindsay. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah. All right. So let's begin. So today's topic is mostly around Einstein One capabilities and its use cases around healthcare industry. So I'm really fascinated by how new AI is, kind of revolutionizing the business processes. And Salesforce Einstein One, it seems to offer unique capabilities in this regard. Let's start with very basics. So can you explain the modules which are inside Salesforce Einstein One, and how does it differentiates itself from other AI tools?
Yeah, so absolutely. I think that Salesforce Einstein or Einstein One is actually a suite of tools. We have something called Prompt Builder, Einstein Copilot, along with some other predictive AI tooling. And this suite of tools is basically allowing businesses to actually build predictive and generative AI into their CRM instance and into their customer interaction tooling. What's really, really cool and what differentiates our AI from other tools is that this is actually grounded in your CRM. So this is, it's not like you're going to some conversational generative AI and you're typing in like, I have this customer and describing the customer and describing the question and the needs, which, one, you're putting your customer data out there, and two, you're really having to bring all of your data into your question and your request. With Salesforce AI, it is grounded within your CRM. It is automatically pulling, records and fields and different data pieces from all of your CRM data. So you are grounding every request and every prompt in that data. That makes things really powerful because you can say, what are my highest priority opportunities, or which lead should I reach out to first, things like that. And you're really able to ask the AI to do the work for you of contextualizing the answer within the data that you already have worked so hard to put into your CRM.
Absolutely. And I think it's going to make things much easier and interesting for the users. Okay. So how you think can businesses, particularly in healthcare industry, they can leverage Einstein One to improve their operations and patient care mostly?
Yeah, absolutely. So my favorite, the first thing I have to say is I'm super, super excited because Copilot and Prompt Builder, our core generative AI products, are now HIPAA ready. This means that as long as you guys are HIPAA compliant, so are we. This was a really, really big effort done by our architecture and team and our development team to, ensure that we could create something that's HIPAA BAA ready. for our HLS customers.
Mhm.
And in general, healthcare businesses can leverage our generative and predictive AI tooling to, do things like analyze patient data for readmission risk, automate sending of educational materials, patient intake, onboarding, things like that. So at this really core moment where a patient is trying to enter a practice, they are, automatically and quickly interacted with. You can automate other administrative tasks such as appointment scheduling, rescheduling, reminders, billing, things like that. And you can have predictive patient outcome measures to, optimize treatment plans based on individual patient characteristics, maybe based on lifestyle needs, based on, socioeconomic or access or family, things like that. So all these factors and all this data that you are keeping in your CRM can now be leveraged with AI to provide the best patient care, which, is the core of our healthcare businesses, is really center around our patients and make them feel cared for, supported, and create better outcomes.
Absolutely interesting. And the integration of AI with any existing business tools is obviously a very important. And uh, I'm particularly very excited by how Prompt Builder and Einstein Copilot integrate with Salesforce ecosystem, right? So, for example, using AI generated prompts to streamline patient with processes, they can really enhance the efficiency and patient experience as well. So Einstein Copilot and Prompt Builder, which are embedded across the Salesforce applications, like how you mentioned before. So it automates tasks using out-of-the-box actions and custom actions, including the flows, Apex, and APIs and whatnot. So my other question is, how does this Prompt Builder and Copilot, they are integrating with existing Salesforce products like Sales Cloud? So uh, do they have something called a sales AI, service AI, or they are embedded in something directly within the core?
Yeah, so this is the great part about our Copilot and our Prompt Builder is these are directly integrated with your Sales Cloud, with Service Cloud, and with any of your other Salesforce products. You're interacting directly with your data. It is being pulled directly from the CRM. What's really, really cool is the AI infrastructure that we've built is actually hosted within our CRM. And what happens is as you, make a prompt or, in the Copilot, you type in like a question or prompt, things like that. We are actually taking your data. We are masking it. So all of your customer record, like any CRM data is being like masked and anonymized. And then it is being sent out to the LLM of your choosing, whether it is one of the popular models out there that you select in your settings, or whether you're actually bringing your own model, which we do support, or a Salesforce hosted model, which is to come in the future. We send it out to the LLM where it is processed and we get an output. That output comes back into the CRM. The data is unmasked, so de-anonymized, mapped back to the actual record. And then we process that data through something called toxicity detection. And we test for hallucinations. So we are trying to make sure your data is as accurate and ethical as possible. I think these are really key. And I think this just kind of underlies our foundation of trust. That is, our number one value. It has been for years and years and years, but it's especially important in this age of AI where, there are things like hallucinations, where data is flying all over the internet. I know personally, for my data, I want that to be secure and I don't want that out everywhere in every model. So we try to make sure that's the case for our customers too. As you're interacting with our AI products, your data is not leaving the CRM. It's being anonymized when it processes, and then it's coming back and being de-anonymized.
Yeah. So regarding the integration of Salesforce, the AI Einstein One products with Salesforce suite products like Sales Cloud, Commerce Cloud, Service Cloud, Data Cloud. So the users and the organizations will be able to use these features directly using these clouds, or it's a separate entity.
No, it's built right in. So for example, in Sales Cloud, you go to settings to, maybe update an object. You'll also have in that left menu, you'll have Copilot and Prompt Builder built right into the setup.
It is across the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, you already mentioned, but my next question was related to hallucinations. That what are the measures taken by the system to prevent hallucinations in AI generated responses? So you mentioned that it's through the trust layer. So would you like to discuss more on how it happens and what are the factors mentioned in trust layer which is preventing these hallucinations?
Yeah, absolutely. So your data is anonymized and it goes through the LM to be processed. When that output returns, we go through toxicity detection. So we are making sure that there's, no biases, no toxic language. We have a lot of filters for that. We process to do our best to make sure there's no hallucinations, any falsified data or data that seems to have no sourcing, or maybe, hallucinated, fabricated CRM data. And we also have something called an audit trail. I think this is really important and valuable because you can go in and see kind of the success or failure and the, detections made in every kind of run of your AI prompts, like every request. You can see that audit trail and you can understand, how is AI being used within my CRM? Like, great, we stood up this tool. How often are these requests being made? What do these look like? How are these processing through our system? What do those outputs look like? And you can even see things like, for example, if a business user and end user interacts with Copilot, they can kind of rate like good or bad for how was that output or response. And you can see things like that in your audit trail too. So you can understand how successful or not the AI that you're building out is.
Yeah, do you have some real-time scenarios or use cases where Prompt Builder and Einstein Copilot are being used in terms of HLS industry?
Yeah, absolutely. And I am a NHLS solution engineer. So these are used for HLS customers, but I kind of wanted to make these a little more general. So these could be applied across industries.
Yeah.
One really cool example is sales enablement. So sales reps can have, real-time prompts recommending next steps or next conversation during a customer interaction, helping them better understand the customer needs, close deals more efficiently, and just kind of give that higher white glove experience to their customers while they're interacting. I personally have used this for an SMS medical alert company that had an influx of customers asking about non-urgent alerts and needing reassurance about, what do these non-urgent alerts mean? And using Prompt Builder, we are able to analyze and summarize, different trends with the patient alert history and kind of give them a succinct answer right away and get that faster customer service response. One other one that I thought was really cool is within customer service, actually guiding customer service agents through the troubleshooting process. So let's say, a company has 50 different products and each of these can have 5 to 10 really common issues. If you have those documented in your CRM, your AI can actually feed likely scenarios and likely issues to your service agents so that they don't have to go rooting through, some old Google Doc or some spreadsheet that someone created one time, or even searching in the CRM that is pulled up right for them. We use this for a fertility clinic. Members have many different benefits, and depending on their membership tier and different things like that, our customer service agents were struggling to recommend, which benefit might be most helpful for them at this stage in their membership and in their own life. And using AI, the agents were automatically able to understand, what benefits does a member have access to, and what should I probably recommend them look into at the moment. So that was another one.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting, and I think amazing use case you have described. This is really going to help even our customers if we just go ahead and navigate this with them. So very interesting. Thank you so much, Lindsay. So going ahead with another question, which is related to our security and data integrity. So ensuring that data security and compliance is paramount, right? Especially in industries which are handling very, very sensitive data like healthcare. So for instance, maintaining HIPAA compliance while utilizing AI to analyze your patient data can be challenging, but it is, of course, very, very essential. So how does Salesforce ensure that data used in AI and Prompt Builder remain secure and compliant with regulations? I know you talked about trust. I know you have talked about HIPAA compliance already, but is there anything extra or is there anything more which we are missing here which contributes to security and data integrity?
Yeah, so just kind of getting a little bit more technical. We have, our trust layer that we've talked about a bit, meaning that your data, is not even sent to the LLM, much less retained there. But when it's returned, it goes through, kind of like toxicity detection, things like that. We have our audit trail, great. What does that mean for your prompt? And what does that mean for your data? Like, is it being stored somewhere? The answer is no. So we have a zero data retention policy in place for all of these external partner model holders. What this means is that any generated response is safe and usable, and we are not, like storing we're not storing like every single prompt, every single response. We are only keeping the audit trail of what kind of toxicity score or how the user rated it, but we're not just storing every single one of these outputs. We also, after the prompt kind of goes through this response and it goes through this toxicity detection, our response generation involves a gateway that uses TLS encryption for secure data transit. So just again, like the data is not being retained, it's not being used, like we're not, using any of your data. This is purely a tool for you to use on your own CRM data, to use in conjunction with AI to enable your business.
Yeah, that's again pretty interesting that we have tight security for the sensitive and PII data, which is amazing. So another point which I wanted to discuss regarding Einstein One capabilities is customization. So customization is key to meeting the unique needs of any business, right? And I'm interested in knowing how Einstein One is customizable, like how much it is customizable. And for example, a healthcare provider might need AI prompts tailored for patient follow-up and care coordinations. What areas allow for customization in Salesforce AI feature? Are out-of-the-box prompts are available, or how can businesses customize their prompts to better fit in their unique needs?
One nice thing too is that you can actually add custom prompts. So, let's say you want to create a prompt that aligns with a specific product, service, team, industry, whatever it might be. A prompt builder is really, really flexible. You can add things like lookup fields, you can add flows, you can add, like the current date and time. So let's say you want to, have it like feed you back an email that references like today or references like a certain like number of days since a field on the record, things like that. You can absolutely do that. I really love that Prompt Builder uses natural language. So once a prompt is created, you can empower your business leaders to make modifications as well. One example I recently demoed that was really, really cool was a prompt that provides like opportunity scoring based on a certain set of rules, pulling from CRM data. So we added conditions like later stage opportunities are more important, or focus on accounts with upcoming renewals that have higher ACV, things like that. And we put in 5 different conditions. You could even say things like focus on new logo healthcare customers, which the AI can interpret as, new lead that has not yet been sold to. And what's really cool is once you set up the framework for this prompt and save it and activate it, you can let your business leaders go in and add, remove, or change like factors for these opportunities. So let's say maybe the new logo piece isn't as important anymore, but now we're looking for healthcare specific customers. You can change that 5th condition to be just about healthcare. So the natural language piece is really, really valuable and means that we can kind of feed results to our ICs and to our sales teams that our leaders get to have influence on without needing technical support.
Interesting. That's good to know that it can be customized to whatever needs business has. And going ahead with another question, which is pretty interesting, is the future trends and innovation. So what is coming up next in Einstein One? Would like to know from you. I don't know if it is if it is a question which I shouldn't ask, and or I don't know how much you're allowed to say, but yeah, whatever you can say will add on.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I will say with Dreamforce coming up, there's not too much I can say. But I do want to kind of give you like a hint about the themes, I suppose, that we're focusing on. I think the biggest themes are enhancing our AI capabilities and then getting more industry specific. What I mean by each of those are, so we, are obviously like everyone building AI tooling is trying to enhance it and make it, smarter and more efficient and more powerful. What that means for us is we are always trying to think about, what kind of ROI are you getting out of our tooling? AI is cool, but cool AI has a place, and maybe personal life. It doesn't always have a place in business. We need AI features and tooling to be tied to business value and to making teams more efficient, making customer service better, things like that. So that's a huge focus, and you'll see a lot of that coming out at Dreamforce. And then another thing is just industry-specific solutions. We really are trying to focus on how can we make industry-specific solutions that are powered by AI, understanding that like financial services and healthcare and life sciences, compliance is the biggest challenge, whereas, something like commerce, it's really about having this individualized customer experience and understanding what a customer might want even before they know. So that's where we're really focusing on. And I think one really cool thing is what that means is that the tooling is becoming more and more specific and nuanced, and we're kind of developing a lot of different solutions versus, the big announcement before was here's Prompt Builder, here's Copilot, build what you want. And the next steps are we're going to continue to kind of pre-build really cool tooling out of the box so that you guys are more and more powerful with less and less effort.
That's amazing. So in life sciences cloud, Einstein One capabilities are existing, or it's a new cloud, so it is still not there?
That's a great question. So life sciences cloud, if you added on Einstein capabilities, could have like the sales and service components and any custom builds. But as far as I know, at August 1st, 12:30 p.m., there are no pre-built out-of-the-box life science cloud prompts or Copilot actions. That could change, but as of right now.
Okay, so like how you mentioned, you are going more industry specific. So in future, there is a plan to have these Einstein features enabled directly in the industry specific clouds as well.
Yeah, because I think we're understanding that like at the end of the day, a lot of companies and a lot of different types of customers use Salesforce, which is awesome, and which is something we really love. Like, I mean, we have industry verticals, we have HLS. I focus on HLS customers, but these aren't traditional CRM users. They don't, if you're a fertility clinic, you don't have a sales cycle per se. You have, benefit journeys, or you have, family planning, things like that. So we're just trying to figure out how can we leverage AI to help these customers as well.
Okay, that's interesting. So going ahead with another very interesting question is anything which is getting implemented newly, and whether it's a new feature or technology, it can be daunting actually. So practical advice on how to get started with AI features or tools for our viewers will be great. I would like to know more from your side that what couple of things, like what are the top 3 things you think are most important before you actually start building the AI?
Yeah, so I totally agree. It can be very overwhelming. And I think that my personal recommendation would be to approach this like you approach any new tooling. What that means is to have clear objectives for your teams. Make sure people know what their incentives and goals here are. It makes it a little less daunting when they're prioritizing what to learn. So, if you're telling your BDRs, like, try to learn how to use AI, versus if you're telling them, hey, try to master these 3 prompts, that's a lot more helpful. And they're going to be a lot more successful and feel a lot more empowered. And then as far as, that goes, I think just in general, with user training and adoption, give comprehensive training to your users, make sure they feel supported. Make sure you're also meeting people where they're at. Maybe someone uses a lot of conversational generative AI tooling in their free time, in their personal life, and someone else has never used or heard of them before. Make sure to meet people where they're at, and make sure to kind of have peers help each other. Maybe you can have a, topics me be the first one to learn and help cascade that information to other people. So leverage your team and know their strengths. And then finally, use continuous evaluation. So evaluate the performance, the general sentiment of your users who are adopting it. Make sure the impact of the AI tools is very tangible, and make sure you kind of have measures in the beginning and you're meeting those objectives that you set out before. And I would be remiss if I didn't say, Trailhead can help with a lot of this. Trailhead can help with a lot of this. I personally learned how to be, had never used Salesforce, and fully learned how to be a Salesforce user from Trailhead, and then learned how to be a Salesforce admin and developer from Trailhead as well, in addition to some really, really awesome mentors. But Trailhead's like a really great place to learn how to use our tooling. And then I think too, like, don't be afraid to use Salesforce and your CRM as not just a place for customer data, but internal. In the past, when I've tried to help my end users adopt new features, I'll actually create like feature adoption roadmaps and cards and things like that in Salesforce. And as people master new features, I'll have them go into Salesforce and like check that checkbox, and you can kind of monitor everyone's progress and see how they're feeling. So don't be afraid to, get really, really technical and nuanced with your adoption. It'll make your teammates feel a lot more empowered.
Yeah, very well said, Lindsay. And I think one more point I would like to contribute here is identify the use case, because everybody is talking about AI and we will implement AI, but hardly they are not aware that what kind of use cases they would like to implement. So start slow and understand your use case, and then go ahead, train, enable yourself, trailhead, and a lot of other material to start with it. Okay, Lindsay, would you like to show some demo for Prompt Builder and Einstein Copilot, mostly focus on healthcare life sciences industry?
This is one of my favorite use cases because it really shows how custom you can be, and that you don't need to just have, the out of the box or sales focused AI prompts. So what I'm going to do is I'm right now in my home screen for my patient access and referral Salesforce app. So in a normal day-to-day as a kind of patient care coordinator, I might come in here and look at any service requests. Maybe someone needs intake documents, someone needs to be qualified to join our practice. And what I can actually do is I can come into Copilot, and Copilot saying, how can I help? And I can say, across my new patient population, who is at risk of experiencing a user error with their glucose device? Let's say I'm managing a diabetes patient population, and right now I am really trying to help make sure I don't have readmission for any of my new patients. So what's happening is right now it's going through that trust layer that we talked about, going out to the LLM, getting a response, and you'll see it's not like we just got a response of the patients who are most likely to experience readmission are the ones who, are older or are newer to the practice or only have, one condition or things like that, and we have to go looking. It's literally returning patients for me. So it's giving me patients. I can click right here on Charles Green, and I can actually see this record directly based on my Copilot response. So that's kind of what I mean by grounded in your CRM data. You're literally seeing the grounded in CRM kind of in real time. So I'm going to go to Charles Green really quickly. And I can see here, so that was generative AI that led us to Charles Green. There's also a bit of predictive AI here. So we can see what is his risk of a poor outcome? Where is the score coming from? There are leading causes. Missed appointments in the last 60 days is going to remove some points from the score. Low household income is true, is going to remove some points as well. How can we improve this? We can send him a diabetes education campaign, and we can add portal access. So what's happening is you're quite literally empowering your team to not just understand what data is important to act on, but how they should act on it. Within seconds, I was led to Charles Green for risk of readmission, and I'm given advice on what to do. So for next best action, I can come down here and I can click sign up, and that will send him an email to register him for the patient portal. He'll have access to educational things. He'll have access to chat with an agent with me. He'll have access to, his care plans or treatment plans, things like that. And just by doing these 3 clicks, I'm able to come in here and improve his potential outcome score.
NBA next best action is defined. Is it through the flows or Apex, or how it is defined, or it's through? I think it is inside Einstein One capability itself, right? How we're defining the actions.
Yes, this is AI as well. So this is anything with this kind of, it's like a cheeky thing to do in a demo, but anything with this little Einstein guy is kind of a nod to this is our AI product suite. So next best action is an AI recommended action. This is not like, a flow or a like fixed suggestion, anything like this. This is actually surfaced by AI. It's kind of bringing for how to improve this. It's kind of building off of that, where it's saying, do you want to sign them up for the portal? Do you want to take this step right here?
I wanted to understand this from where this NBA is defined. So do we have templates or something which has already been defined, or it is coming automatically? I don't know how it will come automatically. Maybe somewhere at the back end, something is defined, right?
Yeah. So on the kind of on the back end, what we're doing is we're giving like certain attributes, certain scores.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, I am saying that access, like portal signups are a plus, like they're a good thing. And then, low household income equals true is minus points for a potential good outcome. I'm kind of assigning different scores to different attributes to let Einstein make these predictions. Some of these are, it's basically what I'm doing is I'm telling the system, like, here are things that I know to be good or know to be detractors.
Basically, the rules are defined in the back
Mhm.
end, and based on the rules, we have
And
defined.
then based on those rules, exactly, we can kind of surface up different actions. So then we kind of can have like a list of actions, and Einstein will be able to surface the correct action based on what it knows to be true or false.
So when you say Einstein, is it Einstein discovery or Einstein prediction, which are kind of old products,
Um,
or it is going to be Einstein One, where
I
you're
would,
doing everything?
yeah, I would call it Einstein next best action. I would kind of call that its own feature. Um, just because this is kind of a component that you can use. We have this surfaced as well for our patient coordinators to understand the breakdown of their score, but you don't have to have the Einstein discovery surfaced to use next best actions. So I'd consider this its own feature.
Okay, so feature inside Copilot or
Um,
prompt
I
builder?
would call this its own feature within Einstein predictive AI. Copilot is in our generative AI tooling.
Mhm. Okay, I will deep dive more into that.
So then that's kind of what AI looks like within Sales Cloud or Health Cloud, in both predictive and generative, but what it looks like in helping our teams to proactively find data to take action on. But I'd love to show it in a service capacity as well.
Mhm.
So let's say Charles gets access to the portal and he needs help understanding his testing results. What's really cool is instead of coming down here and free typing, I actually have Einstein replies recommended now. So I can say, hey, to assist you better, can you tell me what your latest blood glucose reading was? And you'll see I can post this right away, or I can come in and edit this text right here, because we always want to be able to have human intervention available, especially in things like healthcare, of highly regulated industries, but just in general, like we always want to be able to add the human touch should we want to. Here, I'm going to post that. So I'm going to say, what was your last reading? And he'll say, okay, it was 150. I'll say, great, that's helpful information. It's normal for blood glucose levels to rise after eating. They tend to peak about an hour after your meal. Your reading is 150, 2 hours after eating. It suggests your body is processing the food well and your blood glucose levels are stable. So you'll see this was created automatically for me by Einstein Replies. I didn't have to go in and research. I didn't have to, look at some chart to tell me what 150 means. I can just come in here and post this right away. So not only am I more empowered and am I more efficient and successful as an agent, but I'm also helping our patients feel better right away. And you'll see here, it can kind of keep going. So if it was higher, like 180, and it's kind of telling like what this might indicate. And it's not just first we're, helping the patient understand you're okay, you're normal, you're good. And then we're actually going to do some patient education. So we're going to help reduce that chance of readmission. If you remember here, we want to do diabetes education campaign. So automatically our Einstein replies are kind of building in this education for our patient, knowing that this will help improve their outcome. So this is just kind of one of the really cool ways that service replies are really, really powerful. And, sounds like he's good. Thank you for your help. I can end that chat and just kind of even showing further. I can summarize this case automatically. So we're really just leveraging AI to ensure that as a service agent, I am overseeing and I am helping and I'm having that human touch versus I'm doing a lot of research and swivel chairing and I'm holding up the patient at a time when they're nervous and they want help. And I can come in here, I can add this AI summary that was generated automatically. And this means that my service leaders can actually report on, what issues and resolutions are happening on these cases. And I'm not having to waste time on those admin details. And my leadership can actually come in here and kind of create reports and, look at what better patient education we need to do or look at readmission risk and how we're lowering that, things like that.
I think this is amazing. And I think Thank you so much, Lindsay. And that's a wrap to our episode of Tech
Beautiful.
Talk. A huge thank you to Lindsay for joining us today and sharing her invaluable insights and providing us a glimpse of Einstein One capabilities in healthcare industry. Thank you so much, Lindsay, again.
Thank you so much for letting me come today. I had a blast.
Thank you to our listeners for tuning in. We hope you have found this episode as enlightening and inspiring as we did. So stay tuned for more exciting discussions and deep dives into the latest tech innovations on future episodes of Tech Talk. Until then, bye-bye.